Hi everyone, welcome to the last lecture for FMHU5003. Congratulations, you've made it. This semester's been really great from a personal perspective in really being back on campus and seeing many of you in face-to-face teaching, so I hope you've enjoyed that as well. We did try to stick with different offers of engagement in different ways. So you had to make a choice at the beginning of semester about whether you were going to be a tutorial student or a self-directed asynchronous student. And you also had to make a choice about whether you're going to be in person or online. So I'd really be keen to get some feedback from you about how that went and how that experience was like for you. And I guess the main purpose of this lecture is to hear from you about feedback for this unit. So formal feedback does make a huge difference for us. So our formal feedback mechanism is the Unit of Study Survey, or the USS. And you'll be getting multiple emails from the university about this, and also some emails from me just reminding you to provide some feedback. And this is a way that we get feedback in a formal way, and that information actually goes to the school program directors and also the deans, so they can all see that feedback. And we really use that to assess the effectiveness of our units, and then also to plan and implement improvements for the next year. So you can also give feedback more informally. So we'd love to hear from you in your tutorials if you're a tutorial student. If you're an asynchronous student, feel free to put feedback on the Week 12 discussion board. And of course, you're always free to email me as well and share with me your thoughts on what it was like to be a student in this unit. I'd really love to hear from you. So in terms of some of the things that we've changed over the course since the unit's been running, based on the feedback that we've received. So we didn't used to have participation marks, and a lot of students were asking and encouraging that we recognised participation, so they wanted more things marked that they did. So what we did is we introduced a participation mark for everybody, and I've really tried to make this a useful reflection point for you rather than it just giving you a mark for turning up. So please let me know about how that went. We also added some quizzes a couple of years ago, and that was the opportunity to kind of give you a regular check-in or feedback for yourselves about how you were progressing. So we've also had some feedback that this is good because it spreads the pressure on assessment. So for these tasks, there's no reason why you can't get close to full marks. We also have had some feedback about the learning activities that we used to have. So in previous years, people said they were hard to do, and some people liked more activity and some people liked less activity. Some people find the learning activities hard to do on their own, and some people really hate working in a group. So what we've tried to do is to, recognise that it's hard to get a mix that's right and suits everybody and everybody's learning. So we've tried to do a bit of a mix of individual and group activities, and try to see if we can include learning activities that can be both in person but also in the online space. So we've tweaked a lot of the activities to really think about what it would be like to do this, for example, on your own for the self-directed students. What would it be like to do this online, or what would it be like to do this on campus in a tutorial? And we've really tried to provide some clear instructions or guidance so that you could do it on your own, whether you came to the tutorial or not, and making sure that all of the information is available up front so that you know what will be expected of you and that you can prepare if you need to. So I'd really like some feedback on this and to see how that's worked for people across the different modes, so across the face-to-face, the online and the asynchronous. So another thing that we got feedback on in previous years was around kind of frameworks and principles. So we've added 2 modules in the middle of the course last year around some of the epistemology, reflexivity, methodology, and the kind of, I guess, some of the specific methodological content. Students have asked for some more content on this in previous years. So it was a way that we've tried to do that so to give everyone the opportunity, I guess, to get exposure to different methodologies. So having other students present or talk about different methodologies without you all being required to read about all of the different methodologies. So it's kind of a way to try to gain that knowledge without having to do all of the readings and the work yourselves. So I'd love some feedback on how that went for you. So another thing we've had feedback on is about feedback on assessments. So this is something that's kind of always a tricky balance in terms of, we know that some people don't actually read detailed feedback, so finding out what will work for most students between taking the time into feedback versus how useful or valuable it is for students. So trying to give people enough feedback, and then people who need more will ask for more, but also thinking about how we can give feedback in multiple ways. So we have a marking matrix, so it's really clear what you're being marked on, giving you individual feedback, giving detailed group feedback, and then also thinking about kind of more of a formative feedback mechanism so that you're getting feedback in advance. So some of the ways we've done this in advance is the 2 recordings about common things that can go wrong, and that's based on experiences that we've had in past years with past cohorts, and that's about helping you to have the opportunity to get feedback that has been given to students in the past, so that you're getting that in advance, and hopefully that has been working for people. So again, happy to hear from you about that and how you've found the kind of resources that we've provided for assessment. So one of the last kind of things that I wanted to ask is around the in-person versus the online tutorials versus the asynchronous mode. So this was kind of acknowledging that lots of people have lots of responsibilities. They may have full-time jobs, caring responsibilities, or really a lack of flexibility that makes it difficult to engage live. So, you know, we've tried to offer lots of options with the 3 different modes to think about the kind of live engagement via Zoom, live engagement in person, or asynchronous self-directed engagement, and giving people those options and then leaving it up to you to make the decision. And I've tried to give as much support to each of these modes as possible. So I think one of the things that will be really valuable to me, and I don't mind how you provide that, whether that's in the USS feedback, whether that's on the discussion board or an email to me, is to let me know how did that work for you? So how was that experience for you? Which of the 3 options did you take? Why did you take the option and how did it work? And particularly for the asynchronous students, you chose a kind of low or no interaction mode. You know, there was quite a bit of interaction on the discussion board that sort of tailed off a little bit towards the end of semester. So how was that for you? Did that help you to keep on track? What about the weekly emails that I sent through the student research engagement system? Was that enough for you? What do you think about if we'd impose, like, say, a compulsory engagement? I'm not that pro kind of compulsory things like, you know, compulsory writing on the discussion board, but really happy to hear from you about that. Also interested to hear, did you listen to the weekly tutorial recordings and were they useful? That would be helpful to hear about, because I guess it's harder for me to get a sense about how the asynchronous mode is working because I'm not having as much direct interaction with you. So I'd really love to hear that. And then for the tutorial students, what encouraged you to attend, assuming that you did attend, and what was a discouragement for attendance? If you dropped off attendance, it would be great to hear why was that, because was it that it wasn't valuable, or you had other things on, or you just had to prioritize your time? So I guess another thing is, what would you think about introducing a compulsory tutorial attendance? Again, I'm not that in favour of that, but let me know. The other thing we did this year is we allowed students to move between from their home tutorial to another option. Last year we didn't allow that, so I'd be interested to hear from you about how you found that you had the option, if you couldn't attend your home tutorial, to say jump into a different Zoom tutorial. So please let me know what that was like for you as well. Okay, so the USS evaluations are now available. You can find them at this link. It's also available for you on the Canvas page, and I really, really do appreciate and I do pay attention to feedback. So I will provide some content to close the loop at the end of the year, so you can see what I'm actually going to do with that feedback that you've given me for next year and thinking about things going forward. So, it is so valuable for us to hear from you about the things that you've really liked, the things that you would like changed. So please do share that with me, and we do take it on board and make changes. So just a quick also note for people that might be interested in doing more qualitative research as an advanced elective in semester 1 next year on analysis and writing. It's in the high flex mode, and it involves different types of analysis. So a lot more of that data analysis piece, and also a whole day on writing, so you can engage in person on campus and also online. So I can provide some more information about that via email, and also some other options if you are thinking that you might like to continue your training in qualitative research. Again, feel free to reach out to me and I can tell you what's available. And that's it from me. I wish you all the best and really good luck with your future endeavours. And I hope that you did find this unit useful, whether you go on to conduct or use qualitative research. And if you do find yourself in qualitative research, please do reach out to me and let me know how you're going. I'd be really interested to hear how you are finding it. And I really love to hear back from people. So also really wishing you the best with the rest of your studies. And it was nice to meet some of you in person this semester as well.